Hello. Hi. Welcome to my tube. My name's Margie and I'm a Hilk empath, and I just like having these little talks and the way I feel about things, and I don't know, I feel good, but I make good medicine, you know. I put a lot of love into my cookies, so when I know things are tough, eat an extra cookie, Marge. Bliss out. It's cool. You don't got no place to be. It's raining outside. Cat don't even want to go outside right now. It's funny, the last 2 days there's kind of a heat wave, and I'm just like, people, once they figure out, man, they create the temperature with their friction and friction within themselves. When people have such an extreme polarity of negative and positive, because they think about negative things all the time, but we're supposed to be positive human beings with all this potential. But people stay down low, and then things happen. DNA sparks, astrology lines up, and they stand out and for their justice, and whoo, flips them for a ride loop. They do stuff they don't even know they're capable of. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing these kids in the Midwest, man, standing out there. Hey, I just want people to be able to stand up and say, we're not for this, in a peaceful. It's the freaking cheaters, man, with the water cannons and pepper spray and shit, busting that shit out. I mean, they're doing it in the peaceful places too, This ain't no different than in 1989. It ain't no different. Just a different guy. Only Rodney King didn't die, It's just the same. It's the same vibe. It's the same story. It's what I called my talk this afternoon. I just did a little talk like an hour ago, but I forgot the highlight of what I was going to talk about. And that was my dream this morning, man. I believe our spirits leave our physical vessel, and then our bodies, like the cells, rejuvenate at night, and just and we, depending on your star line, because we're all just star seeds, space DNA. You think you're Italian, you think you're from these different parts of the world. No, man, we're from different parts of the galaxy. It goes back farther. The story's just been buried, but people are figuring it out. I ain't tripping. They're figuring it out. So some people have different abilities and stuff like that. There's this lizard storyline. We're all a little bit of lizard. We all got that low vibrational, but lizards can turn it around too. I'm Scorpio, and I try not to sting unless I'm provoked. It's been years and years since I sting for no apparent reason. Anyway, I believe that our spirits venture out and experience ourselves in different and higher dimensions. That's what my belief system is. That's why we see people, our loved ones that have passed on, and people that have passed on, people that we are the same frequency of, that we are in alignment and tune with, You see them in our dreams, because we raise our consciousness. As we sleep, it's like my 7-hour meditate state at night. I raise your in consciousness, raise your vibration in a state that, they're there all the time. I just pop in and visit them when I get out of my own way. That's what people do here. It's like, I'm vibing up here all the time. I got almost 1,000 videos I'm talking about this stuff. I have, all the way from watching the eclipse from Salem, Oregon, 2017, the Great American, that's shortly before that's when my journey started. So I've been documenting as I see things, and then they unfold, and then they happen. It's taken forever to grow my tube, but that's just kind of how I sign up for it in my Akashic record. Because I got to do things nice and slow, because things that happen, like explode, that's what combustion is. They pop in, but they can pop out. And I think some of the things I have to say are important enough that longevity would be welcome. Slow and steady, turtle, rose, I used to be the little rabbit. Now I'm the turtle. Tortoise, more so. So, in my dream state this morning, I was verified more. Robin Williams came and sat with me. And it was in a room like this, it was overcast. And I just recently watched a video. He talks about he did a talk years and years ago about alcoholism. He and I have the same struggles. That's why they're the same frequency. I got this for him. I got to show him and tell him that too. I'm like, I got this for you. He's like, yeah, we're gonna be okay. He's like, yeah, we're gonna be okay. Because we encompass the same heart space, you know? We do. So, and then after we talked, we didn't talk for a little while, for very long, because I was about to come out of consciousness, because I got up at 5:30, and the astrology says pay especially close to your dreams right now. Is that you're gonna get stuff in your dreams, and then you carry it over to your wake, and then you carry that vibe, And we only got to talk for like 5 minutes, and then it was starting to come up. But it was funny because this is the part that is as wonderful as that was, is that this is the part that verified my belief system that our spirit comes back down into our body during wake time. Because I hate mosquitoes. I've talked about it. I'll talk about it. I hate mosquitoes. They love me. I'm allergic. I get welts. So their venom I'm allergic to, and I get like quarter-sized welts. I bought some plant-based bug repellent today. I haven't used it yet. It's raining. There aren't any out. But yesterday I put the window AC in. I think a bunch got in during the night because I have them they like the fleshy parts that stick out when I sleep. It's so I've got 8, and it stems from when I had the chicken pox when I was a little girl, because I did what I was told, and they're like, don't scratch it. So I would lay there and I would just fight it. Of course, I had more resilience then. I don't got the resilience now. Now I get an itch. That's like my nemesis. Like bug scratches it because of this. Okay, so I wake up and I'm coming down from higher, my higher self into my physical being, and it's like as soon as my spirit anchors back into a certain point, every freaking single one of my mosquito bites started itching at the same time. And I would just came up and I was just oh my god, on my feet, on my legs, I'm just ah. And then a little while later, the dogs woke up, and they always get up and then start scratching as soon as they get up too. I'm like, animals do it too. Yeah. This is the stuff that people don't want to see. This is the stuff that people are stepping into. People are coming into the realizations of these kind of things. This is I've heard people call it woo-woo. It's the wonder, it's the magic, it's the beauty. The freaking sticklers. I've been kind of staying off the interwebs, but I every now and again I drop in on Facebook, and today I dropped in on Facebook and somebody posted a freaking sniper on top of a building in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm like, these Omaha, Nebraska, I'm thinking 80% of the population of that state are freaking kids that are parented by helicopter parents. It's like, what is it, a social project you're out there freaking, holding up sign? Or are you mad because Marge hasn't had running water in 3 years and she's a veteran too? Is that why they're mad? Because I'm mad. I've been mad about that for 3 years. Nobody's fucking cared. See what I'm saying? There's a big difference between that and loss of life. I'm not saying, but this is the point that people are reaching in their astrology, is waking up, is to the injustice, whatever the injustice in your storyline has been. Me, I'm Native American. We've been pissed off since you motherfuckers came and took our land fucking years ago, and been control freaks. We've been saying about it, and then our flashback is, oh, don't complain about it. It happened long ago. Aren't you over that yet? Well, I don't got no land. Maybe give me some fucking land and I'll get over it. How's that? Make it right. But they don't do that. They just keep taking more and more. More and more. Freedom of choice, man. That's what I'm like. People are just giving it away. Just give it away. Your freedom of choice. Freedom of choice. Everybody all cares health, health, health. Oh God, wear a mask because people are sick and you might make somebody else sick. Where was everybody the night I was 15 years old? My mom had her stroke, 38. And they said call somebody, and I'm like, I don't got nobody to call. Nobody fucking cared about us. Now I'm supposed to wear a mask because of fucking people that have never given a shit about me? No, I'm not gonna wear a mask. That's your fear. That's not mine. I got an immune system. Yeah, I didn't have a hover parent. My parents didn't give a fuck about me. It's amazing I didn't perish and die. Because I was the kid that fucking would take tweezers because I was curious and would walk up and stick them in the fucking light socket just to see how things worked. And I didn't have parents to don't do that, Marge. You'll get hurt. Nobody fucking gave a shit about me. That's why it's kind of miraculous. I'm kind of an anomaly, is that I can be so loving and caring in spite of all that. And that's why I look around, I'm like, why are you so fucking hurt? What are you hurt about, emasculated male? I need Viagra because you haven't worked out in 15 years and haven't seen your penis in probably 20, where you fucking gave up. You gave up. You got lazy. Nobody fucking made you. You hurt. You sad about it? It's cool. You go ahead and cry. You cry. I cried. There have been years I cried by myself. I cried to counselor. Why can't I make friends? Because people act one way and feel another way. And I act and feel the same. So that incongruence, I don't want to deal with people like that. I don't want to deal with people with two faces. Because everybody already has all 8 planets and 12 signs, and I'm already trying to figure those enough out, you know? So I don't need the you know, and usually when people tell you they're a kind of way anyway, they're exactly the opposite. Usually that's the case. I mean, that's why they wear the big name brands, because they feel like empty inside. It's like total freaking I don't know. Maybe people maybe people don't know about as much as psychology as I do. Because I've been studying people and human nature my whole life, you know. I used to eat my feelings. Now, just go for a walk. It's easier to do. Sometimes, though, I still do. I eat my feelings sometimes. I'll go get a freaking apple pie. Eat it for breakfast sometimes. But it's a local apple pie and the ingredients are good. It's fruit. A little crust. Why not? It ain't no different than freaking the donut shop that always has a freaking line out the door. You know? I used to go there. I don't anymore. So, I just thought it was really interesting, that story that of RW this morning. It was good to see him, man. And I know it was because he did that talk about recovery. And I've been in that, and I was listening to a tidbit with Rachel Spring a little while ago. She's one of those that I can only handle. So I respect I can only, it's little doses. It's like, I mean, even when she says it's not all love and light, she says it with about fucking 50% more love and light than I got in me. So you go, girl. You know, and she's had a pretty interesting background. I guess she came from, like, escape from the sex cult where they reared children to have, you know. So, I mean, I know she knows it's not all love and light. She's just got a lot more softer edges than I do. That's the thing. I'm just fucking rough around the edges, you know. But inside, squishy. Huh, Benny's verifying this with his dream. Or he's saying, Margie, don't lie. No, I'm not lying. Anybody knows. I mean, I got 4 dogs, you know. I got 4 dogs in a living room full of potty pads because I don't even freaking get mad. I used to get mad. Why don't they go outside when I want them to? I get freaking livid. It just, like, talk shit. And it's just like, fucking just, March, they're 4 dogs from 4 states that have all had freaking really, well, no, not Artie. Well, yeah, him too. Have had really shitty beginnings in this life. You know, so as your responsibility as a kind and loving pet owner, it is your pleasure to make sure that their life is freaking stress-free and the rest of their incarnation, because they're only here for a little time. So why don't you just not get mad about shit, you big baby? Okay. It's, you know, being painfully aware of yourself, so self-awareness is freaking... No wonder why people ignore it. No wonder why they just opt out, choose not to. because I mean, you don't have excuses for any bad behavior anymore. I don't have any excuse. When I'm acting out in my bad behavior, I instantly know that's my ego. It's my ego. I'm being an asshole. My ego is flaring because I have some sort of insecurity. And if I think about it for about 5 minutes, I can probably derive from the point that it comes from. But are you willing to change the behavior and do things different? Or are people still going to act the same? And that's every time we get these cruxes of energy, these points, they're like, it's like capacitors that, and there's a power surge, and then what happens is the capacitor burst, and then it doesn't complete the circuit to the rest of the board. It just stops. All operations stop. So, unless people start learning emotional control. See, because you got to understand, a lot of these military, these bros, that they're employing stuff, they were in Iraq, and they had a good time freaking, they played video games and they got to act it out over there, and I saw them firsthand. The freaking, I know the mentality, I know the guys, I know the behaviors, the guys the Marines that went in first, and then they came back and they freaking, they came back, and then it was like the first time these guys obliterated themselves because of the shit that they did. They couldn't live it, so they freaking overcompensated. The fucking the base commander shut down the base in Crete, and nobody gets to drink anymore because they trashed the freaking hangar. They trashed the base because of fucking, they went in and killed people, and then they saw, because they had orders to do, and there were people just like civilians, like everyday people just living their lives like in a country the size of Indiana, but that's what they were told. So the reality of the situation, what they were told, and the reality of what they were seeing, the political posture, like I was talking about earlier, the bullshit, we're told that there's a threat, so that we act on it because we got to defend and protect, and then there ain't no threat, and then billionaires get more billionary, and then these kids are broken. And so now these are the kids that are the police, so now they're going out there, and they're going to get the wrong idea, because that's how frequency works. When people are in high stressful situations, it puts them in a vibrational frequency, and they get their wires crossed. That's why it's drunk people. It's terrible. They think that they're like post-traumatic stress. My mom had a boyfriend that he'd get drunk. We would wrestle around, and we'd start roughhousing, and then you could see where he wasn't there anymore, and then he would start going in combat fighting. And then we'd have to go to hang out at the neighbors until he passed out and would sleep it off. I saw him put his arm through 5 40 bottles. Those 40-ounce bottles of beer, put his arm through all of them. I mean, people get the wrong idea. They get the wrong idea. They have an idea about reality, and it's not congruent to the actual reality of what's happening. But because their ego is so big, they're not willing to stop and process and let anyone else give them any input to actually what's happening. And we're going to start, hopefully we're not going to start seeing these people with mad at their kids, and then they're just going to, oh, sorry, hopefully they'll stay in their military, but it's going to start getting hot. So, and they got a lot of gear on. So that makes people, dehydrated, see spots, they get the wrong idea about things, maybe think they're back in Iraq, it's dusty, it's dirty. This is how this stuff happens every fucking day, every day of life. So, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my evening watching, I've been watching Mr. In Between. That dude's a man after my own heart, man. I just watched the episode last night where he got freaking, that's how tough I was. I was fucking thick and stocked and built like that chick. She's like 12-year-old girl that was sparring with him, and she ended up getting him in a chokehold and knocking him out. I was a tough little girl. Now I'm just a tough little middle-aged woman. Well, how, depending on it, God willing, I get to live as long as my mom, maybe. But so I'm gonna watch Mr. In Between. It's a good time. So that's about all I got for now. Hey, all this. And it's like anything else. I don't know a whole lot of people in any other states and cities, so a lot of this footage, it could be old footage, it could be new footage, unless you're there and getting witness to it. And quite frankly, I mean, It ain't my deal. I'm at the point in my life that I say my piece in a more peaceful way, and I ain't never into breaking shit. I ain't never into breaking shit. But just know that the freaking rules of engagement is that the freaking powers that be, they don't play by any rules. So if you do, and you think that that there's gonna be any kind of thing like that, no, there isn't. Just like in sports, yeah, it's just whatever they want, and whoever feels like he has something more to prove and he's stronger and more powerful today. But the world is definitely moving in a trajectory toward a vibration higher in the frequency of love. So for that, I'm grateful. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.